Okay, so we're going to be going over the practice A side of your worksheet from Wednesday. So this worksheet was all about finding the inverse of a relation. Basically all the inverse is flipping your x and your y. So number 1 and number 2 are fairly straightforward. Our x is always our input, our y is our output. So if I want to find the inverse of this relation for number 1, I'm going to make a new table, input, output, and then my output goes to my input, so I'm going to write the 1 on top, my -4 on bottom, 2, -2, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5, 2, and 6, 4. And there is my inverse for number 1. Number 2, same thing. I'm going to make a new table, input, output. I switch it from my original table, so whatever's on the bottom is going to move to the top, whatever's on the top moves to the bottom, so I'm going to do -3, 0, 0, 1, 3, 4, 6, 6, 9, 9, and then 12, 10. So if it gives you your points, a list of points, a table, anything like that, you're just switching. For the next one, number 3, 4, and 5, what we're going to do is we are going to be switching. We know that f of x is the same as y, so first thing I want to do is I want to switch my f of x to y. So I have y equals x plus 4. Now the whole point of inverse is switching our x and our y, so I'm going to go ahead and switch my x and my y, so I'm going to write it as x equals y plus 4. Well, when we're working with linear equations of any kind, we always want our y to be by itself. So I need to solve this equation for this y here. So to do that, I have to undo adding 4 by subtracting 4 on both sides. So we get x minus 4 equals y, or y is equal to x minus 4. Either one of these are okay answers. So find the input when the output is 2. We're not going to worry about that piece. We're just worrying about finding the inverse right now. So we're going to follow the same steps for number 4. So first thing we do is we change f of x to y. So f of x, or we have y equals 3x minus 2. Now I want to switch my x and my y. So I have x equals 3y minus 2. Now my goal is to solve for y. So if I want to solve for y, first thing I have to do is undo subtracting 2, so I'm going to move that over, so I get x plus 2 equals 3y. Now I have to get y by itself, so I have 3 times y, so to undo multiplication, I'm going to go ahead and divide, and I'm going to divide each individual piece by 3. Now the reason I want to do this is so that way I can see the slope and the y-intercept from my equation. So x divided by 3 is the same as 1/3 x plus 2/3, because I can't reduce it, equals y. So this would be my y-intercept and this would be my slope. And there is my inverse equation. Number 5, start by changing f of x to y. So we have y equals 1/3 x plus 2. Switch my x and my y. X equals 1/3 y plus 2. Subtract 2 on both sides, which gives us x minus 2 equals 1/3 y. Well, 1/3 times y is the same as dividing by 3, so I'm going to multiply by 3 on both sides. And I want to distribute that 3 through. So I have 3x. 3 times -2 is minus 6 equals y. And here is my equation. So I'm going to go ahead and Look at the back here, find the inverse of the function, and graph. Okay, so for a problem like this, where it says graph the inverse of the function, we're not going to worry about the domain and the range. So first thing I want to do is I want to graph this line, which is the one that goes up 1 and over 1 from 0, 0. I'm just graphing this line so I can see where it is, because that's the line that I want to reflect from. So then I'm going to pick a point on my line. So I just picked any point, and I want to count down to my dotted reflection line. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, and if I go down, then I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3. So this would be a point. I'm going to do the same thing for another one. So I'm going to pick this point here. I'm going to go up to get to my dotted line, so that up 1, so I'm going to go over 1, and then I'm going to connect my 2 points, and here is my inverse. On the back, it gives us an equation, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to graph f of x. So I start at -3. My slope is 5 over 1, which tells me I go up 5 and right 1. So I'm going to go to -3, 1, 2, 3, put a dot, and then I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and right 1. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and right 1. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and right or left 1. Here is f of x. Okay, then it says that I want to find the inverse. So that's where I'm going to switch f of x to y. So y equals 5x minus 3. And then I'm going to switch my x and my y. So I have x equals 5y minus 3. Now I need to solve for y. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides, which gives us x plus 3 equals 5y. Divide by 5. And I'm going to divide each piece by 5. So we get 1/5 x. Dividing by 5 is the same as multiplying by 1/5, plus 3/5 equals y. So now this is where we're going to start on our graph, and then we're going to go with our slope is 1/5, so we're going to go up 1 and over 5 to the right. So I need to find 3/5, so 3/5 is in between 0 and 1. And you're just going to have to kind of estimate, so it's about right there. And then I'm going to go up 1 whole block, and then I'm going to go to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up 1, right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or down 1, back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down 1, back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here is my inverse. Hopefully this is making a little bit more sense now. So let's try one more. Let's do number 9. So number 9, first thing I want to do is I want to graph. I'm going to start at 1. And then I have -3 over 1 for my slope, so that tells me I go down 3 and right 1. So I'm going to start at +1. I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, right 1, down 3, right 1, down 3, right 1, or up 3 and back 1, so that I can get kind of the other piece of my line. So here is my f of x, my original function. Now I'm going to switch, so I have y equals -3x plus 1. So I'm going to switch x equals -3y plus 1. So -1 minus 1, x minus 1 equals -3y. Divide every piece by -3. So we get -1 1/3 x. A negative 1 divided by a negative 3 gives us a positive 1/3 equals y. So I'm going to start at 1/3, and then I'm going to go down 1 and right 3. So I'm going to start at 1/3, which is about right here. Kind of hard to see. Go down 1 and right 1, 2, 3. Down 1, right 1, 2, 3. Down 1, right 1, 2, 3. Up 1, right, left 1, 2, 3. Up 1, left 1, 2, 3. Up 1, left 1, 2, 3. Here is my inverse. Okay, so that is all we're going to go over on this worksheet. So you need to make sure you get this turned in and then get your notebooks out.